I'm here with Sarah, a nurse in our city and a dear part of our church. Sarah, tell us, what have you been up to?
I've worked as a specialist nurse in my current job for the past 19 years. And whilst I do see some patients on the wards in the main hospital, the majority of my work is usually with outpatients in clinic. So when I got a call from my manager back in March to say that I was going to be redeployed to ITU the following week, I was rather apprehensive, to say the least. That weekend, instead of being at home with the family after working all week, I joined a number of staff in the Medical Education Centre for a crash course in looking after ITU patients. The main message being to try not to pull out any of the tubes and lines which were delivering life-saving treatment to the very sick patients. And then we were plunged into the thick of it. I arrived for my first shift having hardly slept and having had very little to eat or drink, as, like everyone else in the staff room, we were terrified of needing to go to the toilet once we were inside the unit wearing all our PPE, as we knew it was in short supply and we didn't want to waste it. Once inside the unit, I was faced with some of the sickest patients I had ever seen. I felt completely out of my depth and was also aware of how worried my family was for my safety, as stories emerged daily in the news of healthcare workers losing their lives to this terrible illness.
And in all of that, Sarah, how has Jesus made a difference to you?
So each day on the way to work, I ask God to protect me and help me to be useful and not to do anything to endanger life. I've definitely known God's protection and presence with me, and I'm also very thankful to the many people who've been praying for us as a family during this time of fear and uncertainty. I was eventually released back to my pain management job in August. However, numbers started to escalate again in September, and I was asked to go back to ITU at the beginning of October. So here I am again, but this time feeling a lot more prepared and capable. However, I am still dependent on God for his protection and guidance as I seek to care with compassion and love for the very sick patients and their families, who are often distraught because they cannot visit and are very aware that their relative may not make it. So while it has been a very challenging year, it has also given me an amazing opportunity to once again experience the faithfulness of God and the fulfillment of a promise that has sustained me many times over the years, that in all things he works for the good of those who love him and have been called according to his purpose.